Okay, we have to read the word problem. The tickets are being sold online. We want to know what is the term 8T represent. So we know the ticket price is $8 per person. The expression is 8T plus 2, represents the total cost for the tickets, including a $2 service fee. So when we see the expression, the term 8T, I know that means 8 times T, which in the word problem we have tickets. So, and it's $8 a person. So I'm assuming that if it's 8 times T, then we're looking at the price of the tickets and we can evaluate by substituting the number of tickets with T. So, for example, we know that 4 tickets were sold for this one family. T equals 4, and then we plug it in. And now we just do the order of operation. We're going to work it step by step. So here we got plus 2 came down. We're going to multiply 8 times 2, which is 32. And now we just add 32 plus 2, 34. So the total cost of the tickets was $34. Okay, we're looking at this particular problem where we have a school is planning a field trip. Tickets are originally $28. We need to go ahead and start learning how to write this problem on paper instead of just looking at it. So here I have a whiteboard. Make it a little smaller. Okay, so I have my whiteboard. Tickets are originally $28. So we're going to put tickets equal $28. The school gets a discount though. So they get a discount of $8. So then you're given an expression, T times 28 minus 8. So here's our expression, T times 28 minus 8, because it just told us we have a discount. So 28 minus 8, what is that going to represent? That's going to represent our discounted amount. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and use our paper still. I know we can plug it in, but we're not going to be able to do that on the quiz, so we're going to go ahead and work it on the paper, make this a little bigger because we have the information, and I'm going to need some space. Okay, so we have some space. We're going to, now Miss Price purchases 24 tickets. Again, ticket is how, the tickets is 24, so we know T equals 24. So here's our expression. T, we're going to substitute. So we're going to put 24 times 28 minus 8 on our notebook. We're just going to write it down. And then we do our PEMDAS. So we're going to leave 24, bring that down, because right here we got to subtract first. 28 minus 8, which is 20. And now we got to multiply. You don't get to use a calculator because this is level up. So you get to multiply by 24 times 20, or you can use your whatever strategy that you use. So actually, I think it's just like this. So we have 24 times 20. So you have one of those two methods. So I'm going to use this method. 0 times 4 is 0. 0 times 2 is 0. Bring it down. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 2 is 4. And I'm having some technical. So we have 480. Technical error. And then, of course, here, I'm losing power here. 480. So now we can go ahead and plug it in. So here we know it's 24. We've already done it on paper, so now we just plug it in if we need to. there you go. We plugged it in, did it on paper, we have all the answers. These are great. This is where a lot of students struggles. We need to triple the variable and we need to add to it. So Stacy is thinking about a number. So here we have 3 and 10. Well, let's go ahead and use n as our number, which she does call n. She triples it. Okay, so when we're thinking about tripling it, we are thinking about multiplying it. We can put a coefficient in front of a variable. When you have a coefficient number in front of a variable, that is multiplying. So we have 3 times n. That means we're tripling it. All right, now we need to then add 10. So we're adding means plus 10. So here we have, again, we're using a variable number for n. She wants to subtract 5 and then finds half of the difference. So we want to look here. She's taking n and she's going to subtract 5. So where do we see n minus 5? Not that one. This one? Sort of. And then here. So we know the first one is totally not it. We want to subtract 5 from n first, and then we want to find the half of the difference. So we can't do this because this is according to order of operation. We're going to take 5 divided by 2 and then n minus. That can't work. We're going to need some parentheses. This one doesn't have parentheses, but this one does. We have n minus 5 because we have to group it first. We have to take the subtraction first. And then it says multiply by half. But multiplying by half is the same thing as taking n minus 5, dividing it by 2. This is going to be what we're working with. Okay, so we have a problem where Eric is working on a deli to make extra money. He makes $10 per hour making sandwiches and $14 per hour delivering orders. And he puts half of the total earnings, half of the total, into the savings account. So when we're looking here, we have S for making sandwiches, D for delivering orders. Those are our 2 variables that we're working with. We know that with the sandwiches, it's $10 per hour. So 10S, okay. And then $14 for delivery. 14D, okay. Here's where we got to understand. What are we doing first? First, he's going to combine because he says total earnings. So we're going to add those. Well, we can't divide. We have to divide before adding according to PEMDAS. But here we need to add first. So then when we have to add or subtract first, we need to think, oh, we got to group them. We got to do parentheses because we have to make a total of something before we can actually divide or multiply or anything else. So we have to first add sandwiches, the money he's making, plus this, parentheses. And here, anything else isn't going to work. And then he's going to take half of the total to the college. So this is the only one that would make sense. Okay, so now we are actually given some values about how many sandwich hours he was making and how many hours he delivered. Here's the thing. We're going to look at the equation that we already established. We're going to have to write it down. We do. We have to write it down. We can't do it in our head. And so here I have my little board we're going to write down the equation, just what we have, and then we're going to substitute the values. So here I'm going to bring down the 1/2, 10, and I'm going to put parentheses to multiply. We have 5 hours plus 14 times 4. And so now we got to go ahead and multiply. So we have 1/2 again, and then 10 times 5 is 50. 14 times 4 is 1656. And made that bigger. So 1/2, we still got to add it. 50 plus 56, that's 106. And now we're going to take a half, which is the same thing as divided by 2. So 106 divided by 2. 2 goes into 10 5 times. 6. So that means $53 is going to go into the savings. So that's what we're going to type here. Got it correct.